We have already patented and released FDA-approved drugs that use nanotechnologies. If you got your COVID vaccine that used liposomes, which are effectively nano-sized particles made up of effectively lipid bilayers, kind of similar to how cells are made. And that's just one example. We also have things like iron nanoparticles. So iron nanoparticles are used a lot effectively with cancer imaging and also cancer treatment. Because of the actual nature of their size, they accumulate sometimes in tumors. And the reason for that is if you can imagine a tumor, right? It's an abnormal piece of tissue, if you want to think about it that way. So tumors cause a lot of blood vessels to grow,
Right.
but those blood vessels don't have normal anatomy, so they tend to be quote unquote leaky. And the tumors also typically don't grow proper lymphatic systems. And so lymphatic systems are important because that's what causes fluids to drain.
Right.
So you've got this import of fluid through leaky blood vessels and fluid not properly draining. So now if you introduce nanoparticles into the system, they tend to make their way into the tumor, but then they're not able to get out. They build up. And then if those nanoparticles are magnetic, for example, iron nanoparticles, they light up on an MRI. And so these can be used for cancer imaging. But one of the other interesting things you can do is if you then aggregate the nanoparticles, for example, you put them in a quickly oscillating magnetic field, they'll heat up and destroy the tissue around them. And if they're accumulating in your tumor, they'll kill the tumor.
Wow.
And those are two examples of how nanomaterials already exist. There are many more, and there's more things we can do. We can take these liposomes, functionalize them with ligands that specifically bind to certain areas like tumor cells, disease cells, yada, 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 and they'll accumulate and deliver drug that way as well.
Absolutely insane. Like being able to use nanotechnology, especially in the healthcare field, I feel like that's where we see it the most. It's the most prominent. It's what has been the most invested into currently. And a lot of people I know think of nanobots, right?
Yes,
when you're
absolutely.
talking about it, like you see in the movies, somebody takes a pill and then nanobots are flooding throughout their system and it reports diseases and is able to target stuff and make them stronger, faster, better, things like that. And that's not too far-fetched. We can use micro robotics in our system. I don't know if we want them running through our bloodstream just because it would be probably seen as a foreign body no matter how you spin it. But it's a very cool idea of making these essentially nano compounds like you see in the pharmaceuticals to be able to target certain diseases and actually make the human body healthier.
Yeah, these are effectively nano-sized drug delivery systems. And they exist today, and they're in FDA-approved medications today. So it is interesting that we already have it. And it's not just in medicine that we have it too. Of course, if you've ever seen the marketing, I think there's like quantum LED TVs, right? QLED TVs. That's not just a marketing gimmick. Those are actually made of quantum dots, which are also nanomaterials as well. And then we've also seen things like carbon nanotubes start to catch on. Those, again, are not science fiction. We can't yet really make them at a useful scale and in a useful way, but we can make them. They do exist. We know the properties. And again, these are things that exist now. Graphene, I think, is another example of that as well.
I think it definitely is a much broader field than a lot of people think of. Specifying when we're talking about these nanotechnologies, it's just something that is really measured at a nanometer scale. To break that down, it's like the tip of a pen is about 1,000,000 nanometers across, right? So we're talking things much, much smaller than that. And it doesn't just have to be robotic products. It can be pretty much any technology that is advanced at that scale.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, being in the pharmaceutical side of the world, I think it's most interesting because that's basically the same size that our cellular mechanisms work on. And so when you're able to interact with matter at the nanoscale, you're effectively able to interact with human bodies at the most basic fundamental level and cure diseases from a root cause and really achieve, if not what you said earlier, which is, these nanobots that crawl through your system and fix everything, but really start to achieve that ideal or get closer to that with something like a magic bullet that comes in and just targets your disease and only your disease with no side effects and cures you, right? That's always the goal of medicine. And that's the field I'm in. So that's what intrigues me the most.
Yeah.